I've been caught for speeding and whatnot here and there, and I always talk
drifting competitions and whatnot.
I always talk my way out of it. Learned it from my mother, by the way. My mother would speed. She'd get pulled over. She goes, "I have to get home for my daughters. They need supper." And we were like 20, 22 at this time.
Yeah. Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Immigrant Section. It's your boy Abbas Wahab saying thank you for tuning in wherever you're watching or listening from. Hit that subscribe, follow so you know when these episodes drop. And if you're in Toronto, come out August 19th, next edition of the Forced Diversity Comedy Show at Free Times Cafe, the monthly. Come out. It's going to be sick. Another stacked lineup. And we're doing a Montreal edition this year too, August 31st. Also, you find both of those at abbaswahab.com. Come out Montreal. I know a lot of you hit me up. I'm coming out there with Edward Kim, Hadi Kuba, and Ava Alexopoulos, however you say that night. Montreal Beast. So come out. We're going to fucking go down, man. I'm excited. I guess go up. But either way, enough of all that. You know what I mean? Some podcasts put that stuff at the front. I force the people to watch. Yeah. With me today, first time in the studio, hilarious comedian, been killing it. Even when I came to Toronto, she was already here. The hilarious Jen Sakato.
Gong.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, man.
How do you? I'm sorry about the heat in here. I told you the AC. Man. Hopefully the fan will get to you if you're overheating at any point.
We're good.
It's got about 6 levels higher than this.
Oh, damn. Yeah. We don't want a tornado during the podcast, though.
I don't want to fuck up the audio quality,
right.
But like I'd rather that than the people will understand at home, right?
Yeah,
it's like fuck him if they were hot. There's a mild shush sound, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. But what's going on? Welcome.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. Happy to talk immigrant shit. I am not officially an immigrant.
I love when people do that.
Right.
There's like the guilt.
There is a guilt. I'm like, am I taking like the job of an immigrant right now?
No. I have on straight up white guys, like the most white, you know, textbook white. So it's like, it's the immigrant section. You don't have to be an immigrant to be here.
Got it.
So don't sweat it. Sometimes I feel like you can always feel immigrant adjacent people feel the most weird, you know, about it.
Yeah.
They're just because, you know, you're like, people assume you are an immigrant. I know you're not an immigrant.
Right.
But you're just like, just so you know, there's like 6-week fobs listening to this, like she's fucking born here, man.
Show me your PR card.
I'm cutting out this episode, man. Like no one's saying that shit. Welcome.
Yeah.
You have a dog walking business, so the second you came to my house, I wanted to know, like, what do you think about Gunner?
I love your dog. First of all, bad guard dog, because I just walked right up to him. He's like, "Hey man, we friends."
Oh, he's not supposed to be a guard dog.
I know
he's the
not.
best.
But he's a sweetheart. He's really cute. Very silky ears.
Oh, he's a beautiful little fuck. But
he is, man.
When he this is something we're trying to figure out. When he gets something that like he's like it's valuable to him, whatever the fuck it is, and you're just like, Gunner, give me that shit. And like when you get close to his mouth, he's just like, he goes to like that wolf mode.
Yeah.
And like he'll literally bite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he will bite. So it's like, and then we're just kind of like, we have to carry treats.
Yeah.
But if he got like a dead pigeon, there's no treat we're going to give him to get the dead pigeon out of his mouth. He's just like, he's primal DNA. So we're like, how the fuck do we get those things out of his mouth?
I don't know if you're living, like, if there's a lot of dead pigeons around here.
Dead rats, tons.
Oh, gross. Generally, I walk a dog, like, with a short enough leash that I see it first. I'm constantly scanning the ground.
Me too.
Yeah.
But, like, sometimes he'll run to the back, and there's mad dead raccoons, he'll come back with something dead, you know?
How big is your back?
We have a big backyard.
Okay.
Yeah. And we share the entrance with our neighbors, so he has access to 2 backyards. And there's holes that raccoons have made in all of them, so he can go 4 backyards over. If he runs back there, it's possibly 30 minutes tied up, you know? Like, wow. So it's like, that's why you see him on the leash. Like,
yeah.
He has to be on that shit.
Yeah.
If he's in a park, he's fine. I can be like, come back. But he knows it's jackpot back there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might have to go clean up bodies every morning before you
it's
lay
4
your dog
yards
out.
though.
Yeah.
I'm just in other people's yards. Like it's so my dog doesn't come. No, like I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't want to pay $1,000 for some fucking dog whisperer to come and be like, you need to meditate with him. I don't know what the fuck.
You just gotta clean up the dead bodies. Today, my dogs rolled in there's a baby snake, a dead baby snake, and a fucking fish. So like I walk the dogs in Hyde Park a lot, and there's this like next to some of the water, like a creek. I guess because the torrential rain we had recently, the water came up so high. Fish was on the fucking like on the path. It was crazy. A little fish and a dead snake. Yeah, it was crazy. They love it.
And you got it out of their mouths?
No, they were like rolling in it.
Gotcha. Yeah. He'll just go roll in shit and puke, like anything that's like a fucking powerful stench.
Yeah.
He just loves it. I don't know how it registers for dogs. It smells like the best shit ever.
I don't know what the psychology is, what the function is, but it's just, we love them, but that's the one wrong thing about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Like right now, he rolled in a little bit, and it's such a hassle to clean him. So just like whenever he does something, we're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Spot treat it.
Spot treat it. Yeah. I was gonna say just get a wipe. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just wipe the target area.
But he's at an accumulated amount, so we know we got it. We just take him to the backyard, like hose him down.
Yeah.
And then just lather like baby, whatever the fuck, like baby shampoo. That's what you use, right? Okay, good. Because I don't know, we just been using.
I don't own a dog, so I've never.
I know, but I imagine people don't get like the whole thing. Like they're just like gone for days. Like,
what are you asking?
Like fed, cleaning, walking, like, or is it just like exclusively walking?
Oh, well,
like for the business.
Yeah. So
you're like, what are you asking?
Well, yeah. The walking is the bread and butter, and we also board dogs in our apartment.
But that never involves cleaning. So like that's why you're saying spot treatment. Right?
Well, this one dog that's staying with us right now, he's staying with us for like 2 weeks, and he's a roller. He likes to roll, in some messes. So they did send some like shampoo over with him, but I haven't cleaned them yet.
Yeah,
I'm just I don't want to.
I know it's so much work.
You gotta that much.
I only
just kidding.
Yeah. Like for all of my clients, we love you. Number one.
Yeah.
Like anytime, I only clean him before I know like I'm about to go take a shower.
Right.
Because he's just gonna be like,
throughout
the whole thing, he's doing
that
thing. So it's just that's fucking that power dogs can generate from their core.
Yeah.
To like shake everything off. I'm like, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
Core
and they don't
muscle.
get dizzy.
Yeah, it's like it's like, man, like I can't do anything. Like if I did that with my head, I feel like I'd faint.
Dude. Yeah.
We're weak compared to them.
We are. In many ways, they're better than us.
Yeah.
They can smell fucking better. Their teeth are wicked.
They have the ability to love way differently.
Oh, yeah. No judgment.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? Just because they're always smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's just dogs on Zoloft. Yeah. It's just like
there is doggy Zoloft and like anti-anxiety pills and shit. I'm like, I don't think this dog's happy in your house. Like, get it off the drugs. Give it to a better home. You know. Like
he never leaves the home. We walk him inside.
Yeah.
We have an interior walking track.
Yeah.
Imagine just like. I guess that's what people do. No matter how, the more people like go into their pursuits for wealth, the less time they have for like kids and dogs.
Yeah.
So not only do the kids get raised by like the nannies, but the dogs get raised by like they have a groomer. Yeah. You guys take them for like an hour or two.
Yeah. Then they have their trainer.
And then they have a trainer. And then they have like a babysitter.
The doggy daycare. And
then you see them like every 3 days,
Yeah.
It's like, Winston. Yeah. Good boy. Get Winston a steak. And then you're gone.
And they still love you.
And they still love you.
Yeah.
God, I love them. How'd you get into that whole thing?
I didn't even fucking like dogs. I can swear on this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Imagine it's just like,
You're like,
fuck.
This is going to be
market.
for PBS.
Time code that.
Yeah.
Time code that.
I didn't even like dogs before I started this business. Like I was team cat all the way. Dogs I just never grew up with. I didn't know their body language, that type of stuff. I always thought like they're descendants of wolves. They're going to attack me at any second. They're erratic. They're crazy. But my now husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, he was sick of working. Like he worked in the service industry. And he was like always working nights, all this shit. He's like, I just want to work for myself during the day, boom. So he had this idea of starting a dog walking business. And I was like, oh, yeah, we'll do pet sitting too. So in my head, for some reason, I was like, I'll pet sit the cats. You walk all the dogs. Well, no, like I said, our business is mostly dog walking.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So all it took was just like the first dog that I walked. I'm like,
so you never walked a dog until you had a business to walk dogs.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That is really insane.
You never walked a friend's dog? You never had a dog like
maybe
by the
once,
leash?
but I didn't enjoy it.
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
That's a tough economy. You know what I mean?
This is an unregulated industry.
Yeah,
Anyone can do this, clearly.
Is it it's like all cash. Cash, yeah. You just...
I mean, well,
you show up. They're just like...
Yeah.
You have an accent for no reason. You're like, cash only. They're like, what the fuck? You were just talking regular before. Debit machine not work. I had a place in school next to where I went to school. For 2 years, I had a handwritten thing that said debit machine no work, cash
No
only.
work? Nice.
Like 2 years.
Yeah.
You're like, come on. Just say cash only.
Yeah.
Lose the debit thing. Let's be honest.
Exactly. Yeah. For some reason, the phrase "cash only" has to be said with that accent.
Yeah. But so many white places will be cash only too. It's cash only, you know.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, look at you, white. He's also doing tax evasion.
Yeah,
look at you. I love those white people. I'm like, look at you're hiding a little bit from the government too. Everyone's doing it.
Matthew.
Everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
Everyone's giving you. Every Chinese spot's giving you a 10% discount for cash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're doing math. You know.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're paying more on income if it's like tracked, 100%. You know?
And then the POS system, well, you get charged every time you use that thing.
Exactly.
Right?
You don't make it all.
Yeah.
Did you ever get bit? Was it just literally smooth sailing? It worked you never walked the dog. You made a business and it just worked perfect. Did you come to love dogs?
Oh, I love dogs.
Oh, okay,
I fucking switch teams. Fuck cats. They're so like moody.
I know. Cats are
and rude.
I know.
Ungrateful. You know what I mean?
God.
I mean, fucking adorable when they want to be. You know what I mean?
Like, I appreciate cats when I had that puppy. Because you go to someone's house that just has a cat, and it's like a fucking pillow that moves every now and then. Yeah. That's what it is. Especially old cats, dude. Yeah. That's just a fucking pillow that, like, you could rest your head on, it won't move.
Yeah.
You know? That's the best. But then it's like, it's got no soul. Then you come back to this, and they're just like looking at you like, I'm so happy you're here. Yeah. What are we doing?
What are we up to?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's a different
What's
vibe.
up, boss? Yeah.
Yeah.
Except fuck puppies.
What's a fuck puppy? It's like
I
a fuck boy puppy?
I said fuck puppies.
Oh.
Okay. You know, just because they're so annoying.
I immediately thought that was like the fuck boys of the puppy world. Did you not? A fuck puppy?
Fuck puppies? Yeah.
Like, oh, he's just a little fuck puppy.
Yeah. Here today, gone tomorrow. He's going to fuck around, give love to anybody.
You could tell by the little bandana on his neck. Just a little 2 months
Which, by
old.
the way, instantly juices up a dog's cuteness.
Oh, yeah.
Slap a bandana on. Whew, adorable.
Have you ever seen someone walk a dog with sunglasses on?
No. I
haven't either, and I'm shocked in life. I know. Have you?
I feel like that's a very like Venice Beach, California lifestyle. I feel like a lot of the dogs there wear sunglasses.
Why? Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, just because of the sun, probably.
Sure.
You know, they're in that LA area.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know what it is, but I leave the house every day thinking I'll run into. Oh, let me say this, by the way. There's a fucking creep who moved into this neighborhood.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And he might be watching this. But this guy, like Andrea, she comes home one day. She's just like, oh, this guy, like I just ran into this guy who's just like being like, there's a thin line between nice and crazy, right?
Of course.
So this guy's he's got this triggering vibe where she kept being worried about this guy who's just in the area, you know? And he's like, and I'm like, oh, you'll be fine, whatever, it's in your head. You know what I mean? And then I run into a guy who she never described him, but I run into the guy, and it's this fucking guy who's like, hey, do I know you from something? Are you on TikTok? Yeah, you did that Costco video. I love that Costco video. I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, what's going on, man? He's like, do you live in this area? I just moved here. I'm like, oh, yeah. I just live right there. Yeah. I'm walking my dog. He's got a dog. He's like, yeah. And he's with this old, like, black woman that's like a churchgoer. Like, I don't know. But it felt like Get Out because he was with this old woman who's like 20 years older than him and like different. Racially different and more. What is he? This guy's name is actually I won't say his name for the sake of this, but he's Hispanic. Okay.
Is his name like what's his first name? Can you say his first name?
Gustavo.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That's a creep's name.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice, you know, but then it's just some vibe there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then he tells, oh, this guy's on. He makes videos, and then she's like, oh, bless you, child. Keep doing it. Or something like that. It was like she was like 90 or something.
Wow.
Had like these like voodoo vibes or something. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I go back and then like I see him down the street and he's like, oh, what's going on, man? You live there? And I'm just like, Jesus. Yeah. He's like, lives right there. And then I'm just like, I come in and I tell her and she's like, we're like, oh, it's the same fucking guy.
Yeah.
We give descriptions and everything. And it's just that same thing where I'm like, I'm getting that red flag. I feel like women have it. It's more in tune, way more in tune.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just like, oh, this guy's just something off about this. And for her, it was like red flag.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said on my Patreon, all right, I'm like, hey, if I wind up dead, all right, guys, look for Gustavo in this fucking neighborhood. He's got a buzz cut, all right. The nigga's got like a fucking what's it called? Like a golden retriever looking dog. Find this man, all right? He won't stop. He knows TikTok. I just wanted to say that just in case. You know, I don't want to leave a mystery, you know? Dante, you'll at least tell the cops, right? You know what? Time code that. We'll lose that. Imagine.
Yeah. No, every neighborhood's got to have a creep, you know? They seem pretty harmless, and then they're stealing your old underwear out of your garbage.
Have you had creep stories pre-Patrick?
Yeah. He actually, we're very different in that I like to know who my neighbors are.
Okay, yeah.
I'll say
I'm more
hello.
like him.
Yeah, I say hello, how are you? I introduce myself. Are you new to the building? Okay, well, great, blah, blah. During the beginning of COVID, somebody in our building made like a volunteer task force for like the seniors and the immuno.
Like a neighborhood watch, pretty much.
Yeah, but like, okay, if you need groceries, we'll pick them up for you. Remember that phase of COVID?
Gotcha, yeah.
And there was like a lady who I would...
Oh, there was the empathy phase.
Yeah.
It was a couple months.
We're banging on our pots and pans.
Applaud for the frontline workers.
Thank you, nurses. Bang, bang, bang. They're not going to hear you. They're down in the hospital. Give them a raise. They don't want to...
Yeah, exactly. What? And then 2 months later, it's like,
pollution.
you're not vaccinated? You're done now. Pack your bags.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
But so I talk to people around me just so I know who they are. Not because I'm really interested in their lives. I just want to...
For security.
It's for me.
Yeah,
It's my own security. When the shit hits the fan, you want to know who to go to, who's dead weight. You know what I mean? But he keeps his head down, doesn't talk to people. At most, he'll give the whoa. At most, he'll give the the
head nod.
The head nod.
Yeah.
But like the upwards.
Yeah.
Nod. He doesn't
Black guy style. Trust me, you don't have to describe it to me.
Sure, I know.
The head nod.
But there's a difference, right? There's a difference between the up and the hello.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Good afternoon.
That's the
right?
Asian one. That's the honor one. That's
Officer?
the eye closed.
Yeah.
It's the
All right.
quarter bow. It's a quarter bow.
Yeah. So then one day, I'm talking to one of the ladies on the stoop. Right? She's having her cigarette. What's your husband's name again? I remind her, and then a couple days later, it's like, did you tell them my name? And I'm like, what's the problem? He's like, they know my name now. They say hi to me. I'm like, yeah, they fucking ask. What am I going to lie to them? You psycho?
That's so fucking... I'm 100% with Patrick. 100%. Like,
I don't know. You just got to know who's around you at all times, I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm the same where... like, people will ask... Neighbors will ask, like, who is Abbas? Like...
Who's telling you that they're asking this?
Oh, this is in the past, like roommates, like
okay.
because I just, in general, I don't know if it's the way I grew up. We always had the lawn that wasn't mowed. The whole street would have it. So I was always so embarrassed. Right. We'd have the oil blotch in the driveway and no one's like even considering. Like my dad's like, what, we're going to hire a guy to spray paint. It's oil. Fuck, it's foil. What?
Yeah. It's gonna come.
Everyone's here for show, North American style. Look at our lawn, ours just weeds. It's fucking. So I'm embarrassed, right? So I just stay in. So I have this thing where it's like I was never like neighborly, like hi Janice, whatever. You can't stand in front of all weeds when your neighbor's lawn begins beautiful on a finite line.
Yeah.
There's nothing separating them but their will. You know what I mean?
You know where the property line is.
Yeah, exactly. There's how much resentment you have to mow it perfectly straight.
Yeah.
Like fuck you. This is my property line, you loser.
More so than the mowing of the lawns, the raking of the leaves. They're like, no, that's your leaf. I'm not gonna rake that. I'm raking my side here.
Exactly. And just how they have green, we have weeds. Like it ends like they weeded up to that line. Anyways, so I don't talk to neighbors usually, right? These two neighbors directly around me are sick. Now it's like I've been here a year. I mean, I still don't chat that much, but we still chat. I like them a lot. You know what I mean? They're actually good vibes. You know what I mean? Like two dads, and they're sick. Like
two what? Single?
They're
dads?
both dads. No. They're not. They both a family on this side and a family on this side.
Oh, okay.
But they have like kids that are like 8, and they're like late 30s or early 40s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not much older, and they're very cool. But when we first moved in, I was just like fucking low key. And one day, Andrea's talking to them. She's like, "Hi," and she waves and everything. And she's like you, and one day she comes in and she's talking about, or I talked to the neighbor and he's like, oh, hey, I heard you stand up. And I'm like, you know what I mean? I was like, I literally ran right back in. Like, that's the number one. Tell them my name, but don't tell people I do comedy.
Yes.
Because that invites conversations I don't want to have.
Yeah. And then
and I know my neighbor listens to his podcast every now and then because he drives a truck. Yo, shout out Jude. What's going on, bro? I see you. But he's sick. You know what I mean? But it's like, still, like, I just want it to be more private. If it comes out, it comes out. But she like opened with it.
That I fully agree. I don't discuss the stand-up thing. Because then it's like, you ever do that? And then every time you see that person after, they're looking at you like, well, when's this guy going to be funny?
I know, right? And then suddenly, and sometimes people just laugh at the next thing. Yeah. It's a normal conversation. They find out you do stand up, and then now you're like, I'm just gonna go walk over to my car. They're like, I bet you are.
Yeah.
You're like, now everything is funny. You know, you're like, relax.
Yeah.
It just invites vibes that don't like. It's kind of like telling someone. It's like telling someone you're like Tom Cruise's stunt double when you're not trying to have a conversation. You know?
Oh yeah.
There's no way.
A conversation's not going to ensue.
It's going to happen. Right? Comedy is a lesser degree of that, but that's like...
What?
If you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to invite conversation. And sometimes if it comes up, it comes up.
Yeah, I hear that. But Patrick does talk about my business in like other circles, like fellow dog walkers. I'm like, I don't know. I don't need them to know about my life. I won't tell the neighbors about your life. All right, just shut up about our lives. You know what I mean?
They know my name now. They're gonna find out everything about you.
Yeah.
Just spitefully giving them information.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jen used to be vegan. Yeah. I don't know. Just that's another thing. I'm like, don't tell people my dietary business. You know what I'm saying?
Now they're gonna invite conversation.
Yeah.
And she does comedy.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. You know? Is there like a fucking like a subculture hierarchy among the dog walkers? That's what I want to know. The relationship among the dog walkers. Are there shitty dog walkers who hit their dog like low key?
Yeah.
And ones who like just do sketchy shit, you know?
1000%.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Drop some names. Let's ruin some businesses.
Scott Healy, this guy killed 2 fucking dogs in his care.
What the fuck?
Left.
And they didn't sue him?
Nobody's sued him yet, but there's talks.
Scott, they're coming for you, bro.
He knows, bro.
They're putting the case together.
He's been on social media and shit. He left to...
He's like, he's just hanging the dog? They call him Michael Vick's boy?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No, he left 2 dogs on 2 separate occasions in hot cars, and they fucking died.
Wow, without windows down.
Nah. Yeah. First time, tragic accident. I mean, I've never forgotten a dog in my car, even in fair weather.
But okay, yeah, you give everyone one.
Okay. Second time, you stay away from animals for the rest of your life.
I know.
So apparently he assured the second dead dog's owners, I will never work with animals again. He's been spotted in Scarborough.
This man has been spotted with rice, with mice, horses, pigs, cows.
All kinds of animals.
All kinds. This man has become fucking pet detective.
Yeah, man.
Right. I love that I said rice.
Rice.
Dude, that's so wild to me. That the idea of someone walking my dog and them dying, I don't even know what I would do.
Yeah.
What do you? I would attack that motherfucker because I also know that I would have a good court. If I attack him right now without thinking about this a lot, I have a good insanity plea. That's my mind. I have to attack him right now without the moment I hear it, you know?
You can't
That's
think
gonna
about
help
it.
Exactly. That's going to help my lawyer.
premeditated.
It has to be immediate, you know? And then we can claim some shit.
Yeah.
Have you ever had police contact, by the way? Like, ever been in trouble with the law?
Yeah.
Like, stuff that's still on your record that's still hurting you?
No.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So, everyone's had some police contact, but like a criminal record.
I've had a criminal...
Okay, tell me what you... I love that shit.
It was driving related.
Okay, whatever. Yeah.
And it is a criminal charge and conviction.
What, like a DUI or whatever the fuck?
One was reckless driving.
Oh my God, that's just like 50 over.
The other one was stunt driving.
Damn, you were on some Tokyo Drift
I
shit.
know.
You're literally, yo, how does that, play that Tokyo Drift song right now. Right now. What? Yeah, but we get 10 seconds of it, don't we? Ooh. We don't get 10 seconds of it? The Tokyo, look at the first. When you type in T-O, it goes Tokyo Drift song. Not Tokyo Drift. Tokyo Drift song. and it has 400 million views. That's fucking awesome. There's nothing that's more notable than that. Okay, got it.
That's me.
I bet we're already gonna get a copyright thing.
That's me on the
You were part
401.
of this like community, like in fucking underground garages and shit. You were in a bikini and then racing. That's Jen Sakato, the samurai of the Skyline samurai.
The
they call it.
Subaru Samurai.
Yeah, Sakato. Alliterations.
No, the story was I was coming home from Absolute Comedy Ottawa on Sunday night, right? I didn't want to stay Sunday night because I wanted to make it back in time to work Monday morning, right?
I love that you said story. You're just working with your lawyer here. You're working hand in hand.
All right, here's the story.
So this is how it goes.
This is what you say. This is what you do not say. Anyway, so I'm driving home with another comic, Daryl Purvis. Okay, we're driving home, 401. I get in the car. I go, by the way, I drive a little bit like a maniac. Bad omen. I bad omen my own story. And so we're driving along, zipping along. And then I just remember seeing like a tractor trailer pulled over on the side. This is like midnight, right? Pitch black on the 401. I'm like, that's weird. Like I could tell it was a tractor trailer because of the reflective lights on the back.
Yeah.
2 seconds later, I see the red and blue lights flashing behind me. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? Now I've been caught for speeding and whatnot here and there, and I always talk
drifting competitions and whatnot.
I always talk my way out of it.
Yeah.
Right? Learned it from my mother, by the way. My mother would speed, and then she'd get pulled over. She goes, I have to get home for my daughters. They need supper. And we were like 20, 22 at this time.
Yeah.
but like she's Asian, right? So
Yeah.
she looks younger than she does. So the officer would be like, okay, just get home safe, you know. Anyway, so I've always
He's
talked
like, first, she's like, doing. He's like, sweet, get out of here.
Yeah.
It's just the worst.
This is the price we pay as Asians to get off of.
This was before Stop Asian Hate. Keep that in mind for those
right.
people at home.
Anyway, so I get pulled over, and he's like, first he's trying to accuse us of like drinking and shit. And no, but I was going fast. He's like, I clocked you in at 160.
Shit.
And I'm like, was I? What? Was I going
what
that
car
fast?
are you driving?
It was a Chevy Dart.
Oh my God, you're pushing that Dart to the limit. Was it the Dart, the turbo, the fast one, or was it the base model?
It must have been a base model because it was a rental.
Because the Dart's got a fast one.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. I feel like this, if this was the rental, this was not that one.
No, I don't think so.
You're pushing it.
I was, yeah. But that little thing can go, man. I mean, clearly.
Well, the Dart, you know?
And then it didn't go.
Okay.
Anyway, so he's like, I'm going to charge you with stunt driving.
Oh,
And like the money, the fine I could deal with. But my husband getting involved, my husband finding out and like having to come pick us up.
like they're taking the car.
They impounded it right away. So it's a rental, remember?
Yeah.
So they impound it for 7 days. So I have to pay an extra 7 days rental, 7-day impoundment,
Thousands.
the tow.
Yeah.
But I was most scared of my husband just being involved and getting pissed off.
Yeah.
He did have to come pick us up because it's like, okay, well, how the fuck are we gonna get home? We got pulled over at like around Belleville.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how the
Jesus.
fuck am I
and
gonna
it's
get
like
home?
midnight. It's like 1. Yeah.
So then it's like rent a hotel, rent a car the next day, take Via the next day. Like, what are the options? I gotta call my husband. So I call my husband, who he's a passionate man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I can say who he is.
Yeah, it's Patrick Akeem.
Patrick
We haven't
Akeem,
mentioned that. Yeah.
who's been on the
couple
podcast.
episodes ago. That guy,
Yeah.
the guy was like, bro, half Ecuadorian. Yeah, you were sick that episode. My boy Dante had COVID. Turns out.
Oh damn. Oh
yeah,
no.
you
he's
missed Patrick Akeem.
shaking his head.
But yeah. Anyway, so the motherfucker is.
So he's
He has a 3-hour drive now.
2.5. But he's
That's not what the correction you want to make that night. 2.5.
babe. It was only 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So he's playing, whatever video game with his buddy. He's high.
Yeah.
He's like comfortable. Then he gets this call, And then he comes to get me, and he's literally stopping at every en route from Toronto to Belleville to just like rage eat something, like a protein bar or whatever the fuck. Picks me up. We're waiting at the world's saddest Denny's in Belleville off the 401. Anyway, fucking the fine was...
You got a grand slam?
What does that mean?
That's
no. Denny's, no.
Yeah.
The fine was like 2 G's. Like I said, they impounded 7 days, rental 7 days. Actually, I have a lifetime ban from
Hertz or whatever the fuck.
Enterprise.
Ooh, that's
which sucks.
That's like an international. That's one of the big ones. But I guess you still got Hertz and Avis. You're the same people.
And budget.
Yeah.
But
which is Avis. Like they're all one.
Enterprise
person.
picks you up at your house, though.
Yeah, but Jen, that's over.
I know it's over.
That's Jen. It's over.
It's over. My Enterprise days are over.
Yeah, exactly. Get an Uber to that's the new deal.
Yeah.
Uber your way over.
So I had, then I hire like
the paralegal.
the ex-copper, one of them. It wasn't that one. Anyway, one of them. And then they're like, so they're working on it. And they're like, okay, it's better if you actually come to the trial date. So I had to fucking go to fucking Belleville. I was in court the day before Paul Bernardo had his parole hearing. Disgusting. Anyway,
over there?
Yeah, same courthouse.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, the judge, he's Asian. So I see him, I'm like...
Were you just like this?
Yeah, I'm looking at him, I'm like, come on.
You go up to him
come
like,
on, come on.
Ruining your chances. You just go up there like, hey.
Okay.
He's like, what the fuck?
He's like... No, now the fine is $5,000.
It's over.
You just set us back 5 years. 5, maybe
Thank
50.
you, Judge.
Yeah, Judge.
He's just like, it's over for you.
Yeah. So then, anyway, like I said, fine was $2,000. He took pity on me because I'd already paid all this other extra shit. So he knocked it down to like $800 or something. But when you pay like a fine, there's the victim surcharge fee, 25%, right?
What the fuck is that?
So it goes towards anything that assists victims of crime. So it doesn't have to do with your actual charge or conviction, but it's like a general pot to help victims of crime.
Oh, that's such bullshit.
It is, right? Like
that's in an office. That whole budget is going to the victims of crime office, and they're doing their fucking
Pizza Fridays.
They're doing their Pizza Fridays. They're doing their wacky hat fucking thing, and whoever wins gets a fucking Boston Pizza gift card
on my dime.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Fuck all that.
That alone should be a deterrent to never, commit crimes.
Yeah, I mean the money is the biggest deterrent. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
like when
really
I roll
was.
a stop sign, I'm not. Like, I am just looking for a cop. Anytime I'm not looking, like, to see if... Like, I register immediately that no one is crossing. I'm not going to hit anyone.
Yeah.
So you look for a cop. You're not looking to see if you're doing it safely. I know I'm doing it safely.
When I drive in the city, even though I know exactly where I'm going, I know what the route is, I always put Waze on because I'm like, I need to see where these cops
These
are.
motherfuckers.
I just can't afford it anymore.
And do you contribute to Waze? Or you will?
Yes, I am.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes, I do.
Doesn't that make you feel good?
I'm a good person.
That moment you snitch, you're like, no one knows that there's a cop here, guys.
Yeah.
You just feel like you're...
Yeah.
Do you ever, like, there's a side street and traffic's backed up, so you stop early to let them go?
Who, the cops?
No, the side street, like just general traffic.
Yeah.
And then you're just waiting. Like now, the people ahead of you are moving, so you can move. But you're like, let a couple more in. You know what I mean? I'm Moses right now.
Karma.
Come on in. And you just people are honking behind you. I'm like, let my people go. And then they're all locked out for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like we're not going anywhere. There's a red light.
They're fucked. They're fucked.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So that was a fucking expensive lesson.
What was it? What was the total? Like the final
damage?
Yeah.
Upwards of 2,500 or something like that.
Oh, okay. All right, that's not too bad. I mean, I thought it was gonna be like 6 Gs.
But also, it was on my record for 3 years.
Yeah. So
as of the offense. So my insurance company kicks me out. Obviously, my parents' insurance company kicked them off.
Just because
I was an occasional driver on their thing, and they're like, as long as you promise, she'll never sit behind one of your, your car.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I promise. So then I had to go with like, who am I with? Economical, not so economical. Turns out this insurance company.
You're high risk.
Oh
Jen.
yeah, high risk.
They're like Sakato drifts.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We've seen the paperwork, Miss Sakato.
Yeah.
Mrs. 160, we call you here in the office.
Damn. Man, I was making such good time.
In the Dodge Dart. What a goddamn shame.
Yeah, man. Anyway, so I think that shit's off my record finally. But then Patrick like rolled at a stop sign.
Yeah.
That he doesn't want the insurance company, because the insurance companies don't actually check your record every year when they send you a renewal. They usually just automatically send you a renewal.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a male under 25, they'll probably check. But it's so it's as long as it's like 3 years after the offense date and they don't check, they'll never be the wiser.
Really? Mm-hmm. I mean, I just haven't been. I recently rolled a stop sign and this cop fucking went off. I did a bit of it on stage. Like, he pretty much comes to the car, starts going crazy at me, but then sees Gunner. And then, like...
What do you mean starts going crazy at you?
He starts going off. Because, like, before we even stop, he goes, "You didn't stop. You rolled it." I go, "I stopped." He goes, "Blah, blah, blah." So then I come over. So then he pulls over. He comes up so angry. He goes, "If you lied, I would have let you go. Yeah, sorry. If you told the truth, I would have let you go." I'm like, "Okay, relax." You know what I mean? He's going off. And then he goes, "Just so you know, this interaction is being recorded on audio and video." I'm like, "Thank God, bro." Because now I know why you're so mad. You know what I mean? But like, anyways, then he ends up seeing Gunner in the back. And he's just like, he like clearly softens up, but he keeps trying to hold his anger together. He goes, "Do you want a ticket today?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "Then stop at stop signs. Cute dog." And then he walks, "Cute dog." And then like he was about to have a stroke and he just walks off. And I was like, "Thank." And that has never happened in my life. In my entire life, I've never been let off with a warning. I have never been pulled over. And the only time in my life that I used to get pulled over and nothing would happen would be in Detroit. Because I had a BMW, I get pulled over all the time. And they would say my tint is too dark. Show us license and registration, and then I'd show it to my car, and they're like, "You know what? Get out of here with a warning." Like, they just think the car's stolen. And then it's not. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, "Okay, go." So that happened all the time. But in Canada, 100% of times, here's your speeding ticket. Get the fuck out of here.
That sucks, man.
Yeah.
I remember one time.
That's awesome. I mean, getting off with a warning. That's been the most recent interaction, so I'm feeling pretty fucking good. Like, the trend is up, you know?
Yeah. Telling you, it's dogs, man. Dogs rule.
Next time, I'm just gonna tell the cop, I'm gonna be like, "I need to go home and feed my daughter."
child.
He's like,
"Why do you talk like an old Asian
doctor,
lady?"
Yeah. Or Asian cop. He just fucking see that's what's it called? What is it when like your mind remembers something or learns something? Like mind memory, pretty much. Like, my mind goes to doctor before cop.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, Asian doctor. No, cop.
Yeah. By the way, all Asian male cops, sleeves, tattoos.
Always.
That
just shows the white guys that they fuck too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I swear to God, if you notice, all of cop culture is almost like everyone else trying to like make sure that the white guys know that they're down. Like
they're
too.
down.
That's why all the female cops are so aggro. They're so aggressive.
They have to be
to make it in that world. That's what I'm saying. And then all these like Asian cops, fucking sleeve, so many white cops. This sleeve thing of just like, I'm not just an immigrant choice. You know what I mean? Or I don't know what
diversity
it is.
hire?
So, I'm not just a diversity hire too. I fish on the weekend. Fuck you.
I'm down too.
Yeah, exactly. I've got an F-150. Go fuck yourself. You know? Like, this whole cop culture drives me crazy. I had a cop on here, huh?
Did you?
Mir Lodi, Constable Mir, he like reps he came in police uniform and everything. It was sick.
Yeah.
He's like the Southeast Asian rep in Toronto, so he just goes on like news today and like podcasts and whatever the fuck.
Oh,
it was
that's
it
cool.
was sick. It was sick.
My cousin's a cop. He's white.
Does he have a sleeve? Oh yeah. So okay, yeah.
He does have a sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I don't know. I don't know. He's a good person.
Out of uniform.
I think he's one of the good ones. But
trust me, when you're in uniform, things change. And I'm not saying all cops are like bad or whatever the fuck, but I'm saying I was in the Navy, and when I was on military, like when we were doing in-unit training, and I'd have to go to like pick up pizzas or whatever the fuck, or like we'd have like anytime we had a mess meeting, we'd get pizza. I'd go grab it because I had the hookup. But I'd be in uniform, and anytime you're in uniform in public, you act differently.
Sure.
Right? With the military, you want to act respectably and stuff. Mm-hmm. But when you are in uniform and you're in an authoritative position with a weapon, like things are different. So it's like even whoever you meet out of uniform is different than when they're in uniform. Mm-hmm. Unless it's like some super veteran that's just like that line
just
has
hard
blurred.
Always.
Yeah, just like jaded across the board.
Yeah.
Is he like fucking PTSD, traumatized, like
He's seen
bags
some
under his
shit.
eyes.
Oh yeah. He's seen some shit, man.
And he never wants to talk about it and shit.
He doesn't talk about the crazy stuff, but he's been doing some kind of law enforcement since like he was like 20. So like he like I can't, don't quote me on this. I don't know, joined some fucking program or whatever, and he worked with the Mounties, with the RCMP.
Oh yeah.
At the northernmost point in Quebec.
Oh yeah.
First day on the job, he's just like he's just tag-alongs, right? There's like 6 domestics, a fucking murder suicide. It's fucked up. But he's been, and then I just remember he was up there. Then they were like, okay, you're on your own. You're the law enforcement in this town, in this community. Could you imagine being a white kid from Ottawa and just being like he wanted to?
And
do this?
what's the population in that community?
Some kind of indigenous. I don't know who they are.
So is it like a reserve, or is it 50-50, or is it like 80-20?
No, 100%.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So non-indigenous governing the indigenous capital. That's fucked.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Anyway, but good for him. He pursued it. He'd always dreamed of being a police officer, and he got it. So I'm proud of him. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
And I just hope he's one of the good ones.
Yeah, I think, cops are people. And most people aren't shitty. Like, most days, I don't run into truly shitty people. Like most times when I run into a shitty person, I'm just like, wow, that person was fucking shitty. Because most people are actually decent. Mm-hmm. Either like to themselves or decent. Like I said, people change in uniform. But I think most cops, inherently, because they're just most people, are decent. Some of them go wild. I've had the whole range of experiences with police. So I'm just like, I've had just a couple. I've never had a cop get aggressive with me in a bad way. Mm-hmm. I only had it happen when they thought I was like a stabbing suspect.
Jesus Christ.
But I wasn't, and they let me off that night, and they didn't get my parents involved. And the cop was sick.
Did they detain you or? No,
I ran through a field. It was a party. Some guy gets stabbed, and we all split, right? And then as I'm running, I hit a car, and it was dark. It was a cop car with their lights off, and the cop gets out. I run into a field, and the cop's chasing me, and then he catches me, handcuffs me. I'm like, I didn't do anything. And he's just fucking taking me back to the car. He's like, I'm pretty fast. And then he just started talking about like all his like high school like
achievements,
alumni for running and stuff, but not in like in a way that made me feel like in danger. Just kind of being like, he was actually bragging about how fast he was in high school. Like he was actually just like, he didn't really think I was the guy or anything. It was. So he takes me back to the car, takes my ID. He's like, all right. But he's asking me questions. Like, so what happened here? And then I'm like, I don't know, man. I was just fucking this. We saw blood. And then I just want to get out of here. I don't. He's like, and how'd you get here? I'm like, I took the bus. But I took my parents' car. I didn't have a G2 at the time. So I just was afraid. Mm-hmm. They would take me home because I left the family van in a 7-Eleven nearby. Mm-hmm. So at the end, he's like, okay, just go home. You know what I mean? And he just handcuffs me. Lets me out of the car. And I was like, I was so afraid I was going to the station for like the whole thing. And like my parents would come because then I'm like,
that's the worst. It's like, find me all you want.
Yeah.
Just don't involve my parents.
Yeah, I'm like 16, 17. Yeah. Like, it's bad for me if you fucking get my parents involved. You know what I mean? And then he just lets me out.
I got caught shoplifting after years of like just smooth operations, no.
Smooth? Isn't that a song?
Smooth operator.
Smooth operator. Okay.
Yeah.
Smooth operator. Smooth.
That was
like
me.
That, right?
A little 5-finger.
Klepto, or you're like, I just didn't. No, not a klepto. I just didn't want to pay.
I'm like, $10 for this, or like, oh my God, Urban Outfitters used to be one of the easiest places to steal from. HMV. Music World, Shoppers Drug Mart, all that shit.
Any places that don't, they put a tag on like the high level items, right?
Well, also it's like, so Shoppers Drug Mart, I would just like take shit.
I love how you're talking about this like a fucking bank heist. You're like,
no,
this is how we do it with Shoppers.
It's easy though.
If we go in 3 p.m.
Yeah. You just take
surveillance.
shit out of the package because the package has the thing that beeps,
the
right?
UP, the little thing.
The ISBN or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you just like tuck whatever up your sleeve. Anyway, I just got so sloppy and cocky. And it was like an undercover hired security. She stops me. I don't even know if I may have been fully out of the store.
And it was just an arm on the shoulder?
It was an arm on the shoulder.
Simpsons episode. And that happened to me too.
Yeah. And then she pulls me in the back. And you remember how I said I talk to people. I'm nice to people. So especially when I would shoplift, I would be nice to the cashiers just to like distract them. I remember once I took something out of the package. I accidentally left the package in my basket at Shoppers. Another move I would do is like you'd buy a bunch of stuff but steal a few things.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay,
you can't
yeah.
just walk in there.
Of course.
Yeah, you can't just walk in there and walk out with not paying for anything. You know what I mean? Anyway. And so there's this one cashier I would chat up every it was my local Shoppers too. Another dumb move. And she sees me in the back when I got caught, and she looks at me and she's just like the look on her face was just like, oh my, like we chat.
My protege.
Yeah. We chat. What's up?
You had so much potential. Or did she come in and actually?
She didn't say anything, but she was just because like the place where they would haul the criminals, the shoplifters, was also their break room. So
Yeah. It's always the manager's office or whatever the fuck.
So anyway, then fucking they had to wait for a cop to come. That took hours, and I was 18. So they're like, we could either call your parents or charge you as an adult, which was like it was going to be a $5,000 fine. And who's 5Gs when they're 18? I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to get this money, but don't please don't tell my parents. Anyway, I got off with just like a trespassing, like don't ever come here again type thing.
But it's on the books though.
No,
Like I mean, it's all gone.
it's all gone.
Point, yeah.
I only got a no trespassing notice from Shoppers, but I wasn't charged with I wasn't charged.
Oh, okay. So then you're good. Yeah. Your record's all fine. Yeah. You got it. I got caught early. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
I got caught early. And every now and then I'll be shopping and I need we're doing a fucking recipe or whatever the fuck, and you need some like onion garlic powder, and it's like a thing of it this big, and it's like $8.99. Yeah. And you're like, this is low volume, high margin. I'm buying all this other stuff. I'm applying a 10% savings to my basket right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like back in the day, I used to just go to Toys R Us. We would take games and we would tape them to under our shirts, and we would just leave. And then in the freaking, some games wouldn't be like in that thing, but then some games would actually be in that housing.
So
thing.
you're ripping tape in the fucking.
No, we come with a little roll of tape in the pocket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's the technique?
Just a game is under your shirt, and then quick, just like real quick.
Okay.
And we're doing it like
Real
there's
quick?
not that much surveillance type of thing.
Okay.
And we're just like we're not really we're in grade 7. It wasn't the perfect. Sorry, we were 7. Like I was 7. My brother was 8. Yeah. Like we'd be bike to Toys R Us and we would do this, and it was.
And
like,
who taught you how to do this?
This white kid named fucking Nathan. That's the funny thing. Fucking Nathan that had like a scar here because his German Shepherd dog bit him in the face, and they kept the dog. He had a huge scar.
Nathan's
right
hard,
here.
and his parents don't love Nathan apparently.
We always do this with his lips. That lip curl thing. Like. But anyways, we would do it with him, and same thing. Got caught with the thing.
I hate that feeling.
And they drove me home. They didn't get the cops involved, but they drove me to my house.
7 is young.
I got my ass beat.
Yeah,
like I'll never forget that beating.
I bet.
But now I shoplift from time to time. Like it's kind of like a garnish, for life.
Yeah, just
I
a
will
little
do a
zest.
little parsley.
Yeah.
I'll do a little bit today,
I can't. I haven't. You know what's funny? After
you don't? Oh, I don't either. I thought you still did.
So after I got caught, I was like, no, never again. And then I was like, okay, this is ridiculous how much this is. Urban Outfitters. I was at Urban Outfitters. I'm like, I'm not paying fucking $30 for this t-shirt or whatever. I was like, okay, this is the last thing. Anyway, then after a while, I'm just like, I have too much to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like, if you apply the technique of I'll never even think of it unless I have got a whole bag of shit. Then I'm like, what's a misunderstanding? Yeah. Here I am in line for all this stuff. What, you're going to process me for this?
Yeah. Oops.
It's less than 10% of like the total purse of shit I'm buying, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, would never be a problem, right? But now No Frills is watching.
Everywhere's watching, bro. Because security it's become a lot cheaper now to have cameras and whatnot.
Yeah, 100%.
So you just can't.
Well, soon they're going to put like that ISBN thing. It's going to be built into the packaging of like everything. So it's like those Amazon style where you just go grab it and leave, and it charges you everything because everything has like near field technology type shit on it, which is really the move. Like, why do I need to go get in line when like if it's the same price? Why not fill the cart and walk out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it just charges you.
You don't talk to anybody.
Yeah. You're in your car in the app, just scrolling through the shit it said you paid for. You just like confirm and you fucking drive away. And maybe you don't even have to confirm. Maybe it's like it can't go wrong. Who knows? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know the impossibility of that type of shit.
All we know is kids got to work a lot harder nowadays to shoplift.
Yeah.
Than our days.
It ain't like it used to be. Huh? Cheers to that. Huh?
So
we obviously have to get into the other stuff.
the immigrant stuff.
Yeah. You look kind of white, but kind of Asian. Can you explain that?
Yeah.
Sakato? Jen?
Because I'm
it's
both.
It's the perfect name to represent that like union,
Right?
you know?
Yeah.
What's funny, I'm like, he writes the guest name before we start.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's like, what's her name? He's like, Jen Sakato. And he's like, oh, okay. I'm like, Sacch. I'm like, no. She's like half Japanese. He's like, oh, now I know how to spell it.
I was once
hard K.
I was once brought up on stage as Jen Staccato. I'm like, I don't think
Is that a shoe?
the staccato is a musical.
Note or some shit?
Staccato means like to play it quickly.
I got taken out of music class. I don't know any of that stuff.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
always wanted to know, though. Will you teach me?
Yeah, someday.
Is
I
this
used
staccato?
to play music, but
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. My dad is white. My mom is Japanese. My dad is white Canadian, by the way.
Okay.
And what that means is
Syrup, hockey, the whole thing.
what?
Syrup, hockey, Bass Pro Shop hat. I get it. I filled in the blanks.
More okay. His family is more CBC. You know, they read a lot of books. They're very learned.
What's funny, CBC, a lot of people call it Canada-born Chinese.
Canadian-born Chinese.
Chinese.
Yeah.
So it's like
yeah.
when you say CBC to describe your white dad, I was like confused for a
Confused.
second.
Yeah.
His family's very CBC.
You know, they like they do a lot of nature walks.
Gotcha. They got good hiking shoes.
You know, good mech membership.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the type of white my
All the
dad's
benefits
family is.
are in place and active.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got you.
Because there's different kinds of white. You know, it bothers me when I meet a fellow mixie and they're like, "Oh, I'm just half white." I'm like, "But what kind of white? Like, are we talking Polish Germanic? Are we talking white trash?
Yeah, right.
Because like that's
She's like, oh no, white trash. It's like, oh,
yeah.
okay.
Say no more.
Yeah, we just call that white.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like we just cut that down to white.
Yeah. But yeah, man. And I grew up in Etobicoke, the west end of Toronto. You know, in a predominantly white neighborhood, predominantly white schools. My high school was mostly like, I'd say like the main ethnicity was Italian and a lot of Ukrainians. Otherwise, you know, your white Canadians. A couple browns sprinkled in there.
Sprinkle in like parsley. Yeah.
One black in our grade. He
Hell
was
yeah.
kicked out.
Yeah.
We called him the Chocolate Center.
Yeah.
And then we also called him Dark Man, but that was his nickname for himself. Years later,
She's like, we called him nigger. He's like, oh,
that he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
He laughed along with us.
He loved it. Trust me. If you were there, it would. You know, it'd be fine.
Yeah, to be there. Years later, I met somebody who went to the high school he was kicked out to, and I was like, "Yo, do you know this guy? He went to your high school." She's like, "No." I used his name, right? His slave name, and and she's like, "Oh, you mean Dark Man?" So like,
she called him
yeah,
that too?
and he has that shit tattooed on his back. You know,
Dark
what I mean?
Man.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Did he have that tattoo in high school?
No.
That it takes at least 3 decades of degeneracy to
Yeah.
to get to tattooed on the back.
Yeah.
Dark Man.
But-
Why? Was it like dark sensibilities? Was he a very dark motherfucker?
Well, you know,
Like skin tone was very dark.
his skin. Yeah, it was like
South Sudani, like
yeah,
like
yeah, pretty
mid
dark.
Africa.
Pretty dark. Yeah.
Okay. And they everyone just called him Dark Man.
Dark Man Chocolate Center. What else was there? I think
I respect
was
that.
Yeah.
Dark
He
Man.
was a good
I wonder
kid.
if you called him right now, if his voicemail would be like, "Hey, yo, it's Dark Man. Just leave your name, number. I'll get back to you as soon as I can." Darkness.
Possibly. He is
Darkness out.
he is now
dark.
a real estate agent.
Oh,
so
yeah?
Possibly not. Possibly not. I don't know.
Dark Man Real Estate Enterprises. Dark Man Real Estate.
Darkman. He's Jewish now. He's Jewish now.
He did a great pivot, you know? We're going to do a branding pivot,
Yeah.
all right? We're going to tighten up the space in between Dark and Man. Put an N. That's hilarious. That would work great, too. Darkman. I wonder if there is a Jewish family named Darkman.
This got it. Dark.
Hey, Dante, search up Joseph Darkman
Yeah.
and type in LinkedIn.
Abraham Darkman.
Yeah. Wait, oh yeah, it would be Joseph Darkman.
Oh yeah. Good.
Largest 9-year-old green Texas. So he's just a fucking.
He's got an aquarium on YouTube.
Yeah,
this
he's
guy.
one of those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
He's a reptile motherfucker. Of course he was. Joe Darkman. What's this guy do?
Oof. I've got one friend.
One friend
on
Jordan
Facebook.
Pickman.
Darkman was a movie.
Darkman. Oh shit. Okay, look,
superhero
there's a whole
film.
backstory.
Okay.
Yeah, he had to, when he made his real estate website, he had to like jump around shit, you know? He thought he was going to get darkman.com. Nope, sorry, buddy.
Taken.
They're going to, Marvel's trying to get the rights to this as we speak.
Yeah.
They're going to put Ryan Gosling as Darkman.
Yeah. Well, cultural appropriation. once
Liam
again.
Neeson, that's hilarious. That's fucking perfect. What's it called? What side growing up did you want to be? You know what I mean? Like,
There wasn't like a want to be anything. I wanted to, like I was,
you know what I mean,
this
right?
may surprise you,
Yeah.
but I was more white.
Of course.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
I was too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't speak Arabic around my white friends. I was so afraid that they would know I speak
Did
another
you go to
language.
heritage school? Did you go to like Saturday school?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I went to I went to like all of them at some point.
What's all of
Saturday
them?
school, you learn Arabic. Sunday school, you learn religion. And another school, you memorize Quran.
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Those all ended to just do the school memorization one, but that one was the most aggressive. It's called Duksi. They call him Quran teacher. He'd just be me and 13 Somalis in a basement with an Ethiopian man with a stick. Just
Damn.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Hey, it's looking back, there's a lot of laughs that you're like hiding.
Oh,
Like,
right, right.
It's like kid shit. Oh,
Yeah.
when you're kids, no matter what you're doing.
You're giggling.
Yeah, exactly. I bet you, as fucked up as it sounds, I bet you even in like a corner of like Auschwitz, there was like a bunch of kids just like
Yeah,
being
man.
like, hey, that's my rock, you fuck. You know, like, this
Yeah.
guy always with the rock thing. This guy's always stealing rocks, you know? Like just being kids.
Yeah, I did Japanese school on Saturday mornings for like 10 years.
They kept you in that thing.
Yeah.
You know what's hilarious about those? They would have to constantly have teacher turnover because teachers
Oh.
never really cared. It was
No,
always
and
someone's
we
side income.
terrorized those teachers.
No respect.
No, there was okay. So I went to 2 different Japanese schools. So there was one at which we like borrowed the school. We borrowed like a existing
Yeah, we
public
did too.
school. Yeah, Bowmore Public School in like East York, and it had one of those. The washrooms were in the basement, and it had those. You know, like the sink where you step on the pedal. It's like
Yeah.
a big round trough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then you wash your hands. Anyway, had one of those. So I went there, and then one summer, I went to Japan.
Those sinks you just said are the only sinks I grew up with.
Really?
Like until university.
No taps.
Until university. There was some
What about your-
bathrooms that had even in London. All of high school, all
Wow.
of grade school was definitely the sinks that you step down. Yeah, it's London, baby.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's out there. We're in the
They
boonies.
should bring those back. It's a lot more hygienic. You don't have to touch anything.
Yeah, you're right. The pedal system was
Pedal
quickly
system
overlooked,
worked,
was
yeah.
it not?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
That's
Anyway.
all right. What do we?
Dante, make note of the pedal system.
Pedal system. Yeah.
Let's talk about that afterwards.
And then so one summer I was in Japan.
He didn't make it. He was about to write it.
Good. Yeah, I'll make note of that. Like we would go to Japan every few years, me and my sister. And over there, I mean, like our summer vacation here is like what, 2.5 months as children, right? Over there they have like 1 month. So we'd go there, and my mom would enroll us in school. She's like, I'm not going to have you bother my sister all summer, staying home. So we would go to school in Japan sometimes. And then so one year we came back, and my mom's like, okay, their Japanese is like really good. I want to keep it at this level. So she enrolled us in like a really good Saturday school here.
Gotcha. Top of the line.
And I could not keep up. I'm like, I hate this so much. These people are such dorks. So I'm like, please,
It
can
was
we?
harder than like weekday school, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But it was harder than the other Japanese school we were going to, which we only spoke English there. We like
Yeah.
terrorized the teachers.
Yeah. It was fun. It was
fun. Yeah. We fucked around.
Yeah.
The girls, like when we got a little older, like, like 12 or whatever, we read like our girl magazines, YM and all that.
Yeah.
Poor teachers up there, like trying to teach your ass off.
She's like, this is a subject. This is a predicate.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
Okay.
And then I remember like, there's not, there's not like a huge Japanese population in Toronto, right? So every grade just had one class. There was enough kids to fill up one class, maybe like 12 kids per class. One grade was all boys. Somehow it just ended up being all boys. And so they'd be in the same year together, year after year after year. Every year these boys terrorized the poor teachers. And they're like getting paid peanuts. They're basically volunteering.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? They look at these young,
like honor work.
Yeah. Honor.
Yeah. No, even like among the Arabs who taught on Saturday, it's like they did it out of a pride.
Exactly.
Like,
just
they're not getting
contributing to the community.
There's always
type thing.
shitty photocopies of another.
Oh, yeah.
You know when you get a photocopy that's clearly photocopied off another photocopy?
Yeah.
And it's like artifacts. And you're like, no one cares about anyone here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The teacher did this last year? Okay, I guess that's the lesson plan.
It's always the same. The boy went to the mall.
Yeah.
Ana ذاهب إلى المall. Or whatever the fuck. Yeah.
And so, teachers, these poor women would just cry and cry. Finally, the school was like, maybe if we get a male teacher, it'll, put these boys in line.
Connect with them.
And then they
Coach
just
Carter.
broke him too. It was crazy. But it was funny. My year, there was like a boom in the Japanese-Canadian population in 1982 because our year had 2 classes, okay? And it wasn't until my second last year that I realized, I'm like, oh, I'm in the dumb class.
Oh, yeah.
Because everyone was pretty smart and like well-behaved kids in the other class. So we were like level 10 A and B.
Yeah.
And then the reason why I figured this out, that I was in the dumb class, was because there was a kid named Henry in the other class. Henry Sugi, I'm not going to say his name.
Yeah.
And he,
Sugu, I'm not going to Sugumato. Yeah, exactly. Sugu Mitsubishi.
And he fucking had a terrible, tragic accident.
Oh, God.
Riding his bike, and he had like brain damage. It was terrible. When he was well enough to come back to school, mind you, still had brain damage. He was put in our class. and that's when I was like, wait a minute, why wouldn't he go back to his old class? And I was like, are we all learning at Henry's level? Like, is that what's happening here? It kind of was. Anyway,
teachers just lights a match and goes, hot.
Yeah,
hot.
Don't touch.
Wait. So how long up until that point was there an A and B class?
Well, always, because like I said, there must have been a boom in that in that year. A lot of Japanese Canadian babies were born.
I'm saying at this point, was it like 8 months into the year? Or like 7 months or like 6 months, you know what I mean?
Well, that he came to our class?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Because then it's like, you know what I mean? It's like if it took 8 months to figure it out, you're like, I should be in this class. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've literally had that too, where I was just like in the applied thing and I had no idea. And it just, sometimes it takes so long to figure out. And when you do, you're like, that's fuck.
Yeah.
Took me long to figure this shit out.
My sister's husband is second generation Japanese.
Yeah.
He's from Vancouver. So both his parents
adds up.
from Japan.
Yeah.
But he was born and raised here in Canada. But
so he's first generation then? His parents were born there?
Born in Japan, but he was born here.
So he's first generation.
First generation.
Yeah. So you're first generation. But actually, you're half-half, so I don't know how the fuck that works. Unless your mom... Was your mom born here?
No.
She was born there?
No. I'm second generation.
First generation is the first ones born here.
I always thought it was the first people who came here.
No.
Okay.
That's like zero. Right. First generation, from what I understand, the first ones born here, like came in when I was 6. I'm not first generation. My kids are first generation.
Who is first generation immigrant?
If we don't find this out, this is the title of the episode. Classification of generation status. Here we go. This is fucking by the book as it gets.
Canadian government category.
This category includes persons who were born outside Canada. For the most part, these are people who are now or once were immigrants to Canada.
Yeah.
This is first generation.
Yeah, look at second generation.
Includes person who were born in Canada. Oh, so I'm first generation. Oh, shit.
Okay. Yeah, because you were from abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're first, I'm second generation.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, we allow up to third on this show.
Yeah, there you go.
You're good.
Yeah.
I just learned the generations. Make a note of that. Let's circle back on that, Dante.
That's good for a podcast called The Immigrant Section to know. Yeah.
This is by the way, this is episode 168. Okay,
wow.
So if it wasn't now, I don't know when we would have learned
I know,
that
right?
Yeah. In fact, let's just Google immigrant real quick, confirm that. It's what I think it is.
Yeah, while Dante's pulling that up. So
Yeah.
my sister's husband, like I said, born and raised in Canada. But he was like in grade 1, and just like partway through the year, he's like, why am I in the class with all the ESL students? And then he's like, oh, I'm in ESL, because he only spoke Japanese at home. So he would come to school with like, not so great English.
Yeah.
And
but he was born there.
He was born in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And he's just like, but partway through the year, he's just like, why are all the immigrants in this class?
That's so fucking funny.
I love it.
I came when I was 6, and I still remember ESL when I was like between 1st and 3rd grade. And one time, I forget the teacher's name, but right when I arrived, she has some candy, and I was like, can I have some? And she goes, what's the magic word? And I was actually like, abracadabra.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've never heard what's the magic word.
Right.
And even in Oman, where we came from, it was like you'd see like English cartoons with Arabic. And even when they were like, open door, abracadabra, they would still be abracadabra.
Oh, cute.
So that's the only magic thing I knew. She's like, no, please. I'm like, oh, fuck, bitch. Like, look at movies. Look at Disney. I'm telling you, it's not please. It's abracadabra.
Yeah.
Look at this shit.
Yeah. Sesame Street. Oh.
Growing up, did you end up like leaning into the, like, not leaning in, but at one point you realized, like, for me, I know that, like, it was really my mid-20s that I realized that I've been trying to not embrace the Sudani thing for like most of my life. And then I was like, dude, I gotta start actually like.
Well, I gotta say, kids now, it's like, real true multiculturalism and embracing people's backgrounds is really truly celebrated now. But in the 80s and 90s, Asians weren't cool. Fucking Sudanese weren't cool.
Oh,
I'll tell you that
African,
much.
yeah.
Oh, fuck. Africans were not cool.
No.
I remember we had this African kid who came to our school. His name was Parfait, which means perfect. In French. Parfait, like right off the top, we're like, yo, your name is sick.
Yeah.
But you're weird. Like you're African, you're weird, you don't get stuff, you know what I mean? So
je m'appelle my friends. You're like, wait, we don't like this at all.
No. Speaking French, like we're on recess right now. Like
he was wearing ripped
dork.
jeans in like 86.
Yeah, because he was poor.
Yeah, exactly. It's not some next shit.
Yeah.
Paris.
But so I never had shame, but there were times where I was just like, okay, I'm not cool because of my Japanese heritage. But then Japanese stuff started becoming cool, Nintendo.
For me, I grew up in the era of Dragon Ball Z, as you can see around. So for me, I was like, I came up in that. For me, Japanese, like when I grew up, when I moved to Canada when I was 6 years old, and since then, Japanese culture and urban black culture somehow have this weird overlap, where like they're both their urban kind of scene, kind of like they're both into like the graffiti and the like hip hop drums and like a lot of this, like they have a lot of influences that take from each other, especially like now it's obvious with anime, but even before this, it was like for some reason in the hood and shit, it was always Dragon Ball Z. It was always that. It was always anime talk. Always. And then like among white people, I wouldn't be able to talk to anime until I got to university and was with other immigrants. And they were all watching anime their whole lives too. I don't know what it is about anime, but it's like we hide it until you realize we're all watching it. And then we're just like talking hard anime.
I never got into anime. Bad age.
Patrick mentioned that, and I have a theory on that. It's because people expect you to be. So you went the other way.
Nah,
anime is amazing. What is there to not? It's a whole medium. That's like being like I never got into movies. I never got into.
I don't really like music.
Sports.
Those people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Especially with Dragon Ball Z, it's a lot.
I get it. It's very
It's a lot of
shit.
screaming and just intensity, and
violence.
I'm a very
try
subdued.
Sailor Moon.
I got into Sailor Moon a little bit.
Get you in with a little Death Note.
Yeah, okay. I did watch Death Note.
And
that
you
was
liked
entertaining.
It? Okay, there you go. Look at you.
But
now we find out you watched everything.
Okay,
like, I love that.
All right, this is my Dragon Ball Z tattoo. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
I got this bleach one. Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but no. When I was younger, I wasn't into it.
What was the first thing you remember growing up where like a Japanese thing was like cool? Like a Japanese thing got into pop culture on this side of the world?
The first thing I
Yeah.
remember? Well, I mean, obviously...
Or the transition of that where it was
obviously
like...
Nintendo. You know,
Okay, Nintendo.
Super Mario and all that shit. I was the first kid in my school with a Nintendo system.
Like, and you got it from Japan?
From Japan, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
They used to call it Famicom, which is short for family computer. Famicom,
Wow.
yeah.
They fucking did a clutch rebranding on that.
Yeah.
That was not going to pick up here.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, and then like I remember my aunt would send me like a fucking huge box just full of candy, sick Japanese candies. So that made me a little popular at school for a little bit. But no, culturally, I don't know what was. Well, sushi started to become cool because that's another thing. Raw fish.
Sushi was like 15, 20 years ago where it was like, it seemed
started to
where it was like
become
sushi?
mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before
20
that,
years
no
probably,
way,
yeah.
man. My mom used to make onigiri, which is like a rice ball with something inside it and
Yeah.
then wrapped in nori, like
Yeah.
the toasted seaweed.
Oh, I love that
What's
stuff.
that? Seaweed? Oh my god, I got teased mercilessly.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
and-
not cool.
And that's what's it called? The whole
onigiri.
onigiri. I love that shit. I was in Japan.
Yeah.
I went to Tokyo.
Yeah.
I like Japanese food, but the thing when I was going around Japan for like 10 days that kept us going is we go to like family marts and those
convenience
the
stores?
convenience
Yeah.
stores, and you get the salmon and the tuna onigiri, and you just get 4 or 5 of them. They're all like
Yeah.
$2-3, whatever
Yeah.
the fuck it is,
Yeah.
and you live off of that shit.
Yeah, and it's all neatly wrapped in the plastic.
I-
and you don't
the
even have
first
to
time-
touch it with your hands.
But the first time I opened
Oh,
it,
yeah,
I
disaster.
ripped the whole thing
Of course.
open. It unwrapped the seaweed. And I'm
Of
like, what the
course.
fuck is? And I realized there's like,
Yeah.
it's like opening up like a Trident pack of gum. There's like that red line.
Yeah,
You
the
got to pull
tearaway.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then afterwards, I was like, you fools. Like, eating a perfect There's something nice about eating a perfect triangle, you know?
If you watch old, excuse me, if you watch old samurai movies or like fucking what's it, Kurosawa movies and stuff like that, you'll see the samurais eating onigiri like this fucking big because they didn't know when their next meal would come from.
Yeah.
So could you imagine
It's all
every
rice.
day just like, I don't know when my next meal is coming.
Triangle!
Yeah.
And they're just watching Tokyo Drift with like wagons, but it's still Tokyo Drift. Put the song back on. One more time.
Oh, he's got it queued up.
I love that you never close the tab.
I know.
Cut it, Dante. That's
Yeah,
it.
That's all we can afford.
Hopefully Google doesn't attach those two as a
Yeah.
single amount of use, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Then we're fucked. Then we're truly fucked. Okay, at the end of the episode, I always ask 3 questions. Normally the first one is, did you get beat? But now that I'm sitting across a woman, I don't feel like being like, did you get beat?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, by my mom.
Bro, by the dad side? It was by the white side?
My Japanese side.
Legit.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Please tell
Wait.
us about the beating.
We got smacked. I mean, I don't know if this is... I mean, definitely Japanese people hit their kids, for sure.
But to be honest, I pictured more like sit on a carefully laid out series of pebbles, kneel on this.
Right.
Is what I would expect
Yes.
your thing to be.
Yeah. That could be maybe some OCD parents in Japan do that. I don't know. No, my mom just like gave us a good smack or like a knock on the head. Yeah.
Just to get the point across.
Yeah. Just to shut the fuck up, shut her kids up. You know, I get it.
But to a level that if it happened right now in a no frills, would anybody say anything, or would it still be accepted even by the standards now?
You'd probably get some looks. I mean, I don't know. I personally think it's fine to hit your kids once in a while. Like, sometimes they just won't listen or shut up, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have to, every now and then, I got to give Gunner a smack.
No.
I have to. Buddy, hey, it hurts me more than it hurts him. Trust me.
Yeah.
I say it
know.
while I'm hitting him.
Well, you know what? I'm not completely against that because dogs, when they check each other, when an
Yeah.
older dog checks a puppy, oh my God, they treat them way worse than anything
Oh,
we
without
would
a
do.
doubt.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
biting them and shit. It's wild.
Yeah. But yeah, so I did get beat. One time my white dad just like grabbed me to like do something, but I wasn't. It was always my mom. My mom.
Yeah, white parents, they never touch you and then they kill you. You know what I mean?
And then they just
Yeah, there's no like
murder
hitting.
suicide.
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a straight up murder suicide. Yeah. Okay. Second question is, what's something Japanese people do or like you've seen in Japan that nobody else does? Only Japanese people do this.
Oh boy. Oh God, like I know there's a million things. Fuck.
Don't say tentacle porn.
Damn. You're gonna.
You're just like oh fuck.
You're gonna cut the silence, right? I feel bad wasting your.
I love that you considered that, but people are waiting. That
I know.
builds suspense. You know.
God.
If I cut that silence, I'd have to cut so much other silence.
I want to tell you this.
Let's
so
just go
I brought,
longer silent.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Just kidding. So I brought Patrick. You know, when we were dating, like we weren't married yet. I brought him to Japan. I say that like as if I paid for like a trip for him, but no. We did a trip to Asia and we went to Japan. I told him all this shit, like you can't fucking eat on the subway. You can't eat while walking. Like,
there's no garbage cans anywhere.
You can't do this, you can't do that. We get there, people are doing all that shit.
Yeah.
So he's like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So I'm afraid. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to tell you something that's
like
straight
super
up
out of
wrong.
touch, like from like 1994 Japan.
Yeah, 1994, and also what my mother told me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how much of this is my mother's rules?
No, like think about what your mom does that like you just don't get anywhere else. Because I mean that's the source right there.
I can't. I wish I could give you a really good one, but there's like an endless cycle of gift giving. Okay, so it's like, oh, I'm coming to visit you, so I'll give you a gift. Ah, you have visited me. Here's a gift. Oh, thank you for having me. Here's a gift. Oh, thank you for. It's fucking endless.
What's the size of the gifts?
You know,
we're talking like cards here. We're talking a small candy, or
we're talking, you know, like a nice. Oh, I visited. I visited Quebec, so here's some fucking maple syrup. You know, from the region.
When you guys go somewhere, do you buy like 20 things?
Yeah, like one suitcase is full of gifts.
Oh, I feel like so many. When we go back to Sudan, the main thing my mom takes back is linen. I don't know what the fuck is going on over there or what the deal is, but
shortage of towels.
Linen. The people love just sheets, bed sheets, crazy amount of bed sheets. There'd be a whole thing of bed sheets.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's you never know what a country's like. What their thing is that it's hard to get.
Right. Well, it used to be fucking maple syrup when we would go to Japan, and my cousins loved.
Because they know you're coming from Canada. Yeah. That's why.
But now it's everywhere. You can get maple syrup
like,
anywhere.
Oh, we have Aunt Jemima.
Yeah.
Aunt Jemima, very good. It's actually
Jemima-san.
the best. Jemima-sama.
Jemima-sama. There you go.
Yeah.
But
you really think I don't know watch anime?
Then my cousin used to love Oreos, so we'd bring like a shitload of. You can get that shit now in Japan. You can get anything, right? But what?
But the gift giving I didn't know about, you know?
Yeah.
We can go with the gift giving. Make a note of that.
You go to a wedding, you bring a gift. They send you a gift. Thank you for coming to our wedding. It's enough already. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'd hate that shit. I hate the gift process. You know?
What else? Oh, just like, you know, obviously they don't wear shoes in the house. But like if you go to a clothing store and you're trying on clothes, you have to take your shoes off before you go into the change room. Yeah. What else?
What would happen if you went into a Japanese person with shoes on? Is it like, would they just play it cool or would they freak out? Would they play it cool till you left and then cleaned everything like to a ridiculous degree?
They would,
or would they confront you? It would be like,
I don't
shoes
know.
off.
It depends how, you know, immigrant you are in Japan. If you're like white Mr. John Smith, you know, they would probably be accommodating.
Yeah.
And then just clean the hell out of it after. But, yeah. But if you were like, this is the thing, Japanese people they're like, there's like a big superiority thing towards other Asians.
Yeah.
So like if like a Chinese, but Chinese people don't wear shoes in the house, I don't think. But or like a Filipino or something came in and wore shoes in the house, they would probably get yelled at.
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh, the Japanese hierarchy. You know, I see it in the anime.
It's crazy. Okay,
that hierarchy exists everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. So in Brazil, in India,
much
in
like
Sudan.
how the Brits.
Yeah, the class system.
No, but I mean the Brits refer to Europe as though they're not part of it. Oh, Europe. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're in fucking Europe, British people. So Japan, they'll refer to Asia. Like they don't consider themselves.
Oh.
So you know how here when people say Asian, it's the gong. When Japanese people say Asia, they think hot jungles.
Yeah.
Burma.
And that includes China too. Yeah. They're
no,
part
China's China.
Okay. And Korea's Korea. And everything else is Asia.
Yeah.
Okay, got
everything
it.
Everything else is hot jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what I mean? Okay. So I think that answers the final question is who do the Japanese talk shit about? And is it Asia?
Other Asians. Oh yeah, big time.
Asia.
Um,
In the Japanese
time.
hierarchy, who's the lowest? Let's be honest.
the lowest Asian?
The lowest Asian.
Depends who you're talking to. Some Japanese would consider Koreans the lowest.
Oh, shit. Really?
In the city of Osaka, there's a huge Korean population, and there's still a lot of like prejudice.
You could tell by the last name, right?
By the last name, yeah. But there's still a lot of prejudice. So people, like, when they apply for jobs, the hiring people will like hire a private a PI or like a detective and be like, oh, you're from this neighborhood? Well, let's see what your lineage is. And they'll fucking...
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then if you're Korean, they just don't want to hire you?
Yeah. They, in their constitution...
And I wouldn't even make it that far as a black guy. You know what I mean? There would be no lineage research. It'd be like... well, aren't you going to check my lineage? No, the position
good.
has been filled.
Yeah. No, we know.
Run the numbers.
Yeah,
exactly.
Run the numbers.
But run it, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm 100% British.
Okay, we ran the numbers and you're still black.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like in the Constitution, they're not allowed to discriminate, just like here, you know, based on race, creed, blah.
But in practice.
They did it to me. They're like, sorry, we don't hire foreigners. I was like, oh, all right.
Fuck them, you know?
Fuck this gelato place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And now you're out here just exotic as fuck. You know? You're like, I'm not going back there. You know? Actually, is it weird being half white there?
Yeah.
Is it weirder being half white there than it is being half Japanese here?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Because no matter, even if your Japanese is fluent, if you're a halfer over there, you'll always be a halfer. You'll never be fully accepted.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like finite. There's no like, it's not like, oh, I'll do this to this level and then well, they'll always just be like, wow, your Japanese is so good. Yeah. That's why it's like, I'm glad I wasn't born there, because I would just constantly have that. My Japanese is shit, by the way. It's terrible. But back in the day, though.
When I was a kid, it was pretty good.
Like, wow.
But, yeah, they still, they're doing good with like opening up and being more like global and whatnot. But you have to understand, for centuries they were like a closed off country, right? So. Oh,
I've been there. Japan is like it makes you think, oh, life is really just like a petri dish on this world, and like Japan is a different like petri dish. Like they went a whole different route with reality. Yeah. Because it's just like, man, I love a lot of things about Japan, and there's a lot of social stuff I don't really like. Yeah. But it was just cool just to be in a subway deep underground and you have 5 bars reception, like just the little things, you know what I mean? I'm just like, they fucking figured all this core functionality, everything works. Yeah. Now it's just like socially living and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
But yo, Jen, let's land this thing, huh? Yo, I want you to look into this camera. Tell the people where they can find you. Don't say Japan.
Don't say Japan.
Don't say Japan.
Oh boy, performing comedy in Japan, that's a whole other thing.
Have you tried it?
I have.
How'd it go? Like, you're very funny for a halfer.
Yeah. Actually, I was there and I was just doing like a touch of crowd work, just because it was at like a bar with a lot of like foreign people, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, where's everybody fun? This guy goes, Rhodesia.
What the fuck? Where's that?
Come on, you're a bad African. Rhodesia was the colonial name, former name of Zimbabwe. So I'm like,
Dante, make a note of that.
The fact that this white guy referred to it as Rhodesia, I'm like, okay, moving right along. Don't really want to talk to you anymore.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's so strange.
Like, oh, the good old days.
Rhodesia.
Yeah.
That's like all about that colonialism and superiority.
Yeah, man.
Colonialism.
Yeah.
I almost had a stroke. Trying to pull those up. But,
little beat of anime sweat coming down.
Yeah. Just
anyway, I don't. Oh man, I came ill prepared. I don't know. I'm around. Fucking.
You got any shows coming up? There's a lot of Toronto listeners.
Yeah. Just go to my Instagram. I have 1 follower, and I go to my link in bio. That's where I post my shows.
You have a link tree?
Yeah.
Okay, sick. All right. So as always, I'm gonna put her info down there. Her link tree is gonna be there. Your Instagram's in it, right? And your show stuff. Yeah. So hit her up. From my end, August 19th, come out to Free Times if you're in Toronto. And August 31st, come out to the Diving Bell Social Club if you're in Montreal. Tickets at abbaswahab.com. Jen, this has been a fucking pleasure.
Good times, bro.
Finally, great to have you here. Yes. Yeah, man. Until next time, hope you enjoyed. Your boy, Abbas Wahab, signing out. Peace.